Hi everyone, I'm Cheryl and welcome to the Sewing Room channel, and I have a cross stitch tip for you. I'm going to be talking about cross stitch kits. So if you're getting started, you've never done it before, I want to kind of guide you in the right direction. I don't want you getting in over your head. So let's take a look at a couple of cross stitch kits that I have. And by the way, I have many of them, a great big box full of them. And this one I believe is 10 by 13 inches in size, and this is 11 by 14. And you can see they're very, very detailed. Now, they're not difficult to do, but if you don't know what you're doing and you're just getting started, you may become very, very frustrated. So let me show you a kit that I think would be better to start with. This is a kit made by Dimensions, and I bought it at Walmart. Now, not all Walmart stores have fabric and crafts, but I'm sure if you went on walmart.com, you'd be able to get this kit. It's only 6 inches in size, and this is a much better one to start with. As you can see, there's not a lot on it. So let me show you what is included in your kit. This is your Aida cloth, and it has a lot of little holes in it, and that's where your needle is inserted. And this piece of Aida cloth is about 9 inches square. Here is a needle. Your kits always include a needle. Sometimes it's attached to the Aida cloth, and sometimes it's just in a little cellophane clear plastic package. Not all kits include a hoop, but in this kit, it does. So that's what's so nice about it. So if you're getting started, everything is included. So this is a 6-inch diameter hoop, and this little screw here, you use that to tighten and loosen the hoop so that you can easily get the Aida cloth on and remove it. It also includes all of the embroidery floss. There's usually more than enough. I have never run out of the thread that has come with the kit, but if you should run out of it, you can contact the company and they will send you more floss for free. It also comes with an instruction sheet, and it's usually in multiple languages. So here's the English translation, and it just shows you how to fold and prepare your Aida cloth to put it on your hoop. So you want to be able to find the center and mark the center, and then center the Aida cloth over the hoop. And now here it explains about your color-coded key chart and symbols. Here is the chart that tells you where to place all of your stitches, and you will see all of these different symbols in there. Those symbols represent a specific color. Over here is your color-coded thread chart. And so you look for the symbol, which is right in here, and it tells you the number of strands of thread that you need to put on your needle. Almost all of the cross stitches are going to have 2 threads. Your back stitches mostly are single thread. And on the very last page, it explains how to do the actual stitches. I will explain the stitches in another follow-up cross-stitch tip, but if you want to get started right away, in here it shows you how to do it. This particular kit also has instructions for making a little tassel, because they're assuming you're going to keep it in the frame and hang it on the wall, and there's going to be a little tassel hanging on the bottom of the frame. If your symbol chart you're having a hard time reading them, and I do. As I've gotten older, it's harder and harder for me to read tiny little print. So I have a photocopier printer at home, and I set it to enlarge, and I will enlarge this section of the kit so that I can see the symbols really easy. And one of the things I like to do, and I do it religiously, is as soon as I finish a set of stitches, I will just highlight it with a marker so I know where I've left off. So if I'm in the middle of a letter, let's say I've done that much, I know that I need to start here to finish. One of the things you have to do is always start in the very middle of your Aida cloth, and you look for the center of your sheet here where it shows you all the stitches. And on all four sides are these little dark arrows, and when you connect them, this is center. So you're going to start somewhere in here. You're either going to start with the letter E or the letter T. When you're done with your Aida cloth, if it's real dirty, you should wash it. And in a follow-up tutorial, I'll explain about how to wash your cross-stitch design. But it will be wrinkled, the Aida cloth will be, when you take it off of the hoop. So it's recommended, and it talks about it on your instructions, is to get a towel, put the front side of the design facing down, and then press it with your iron on the back side to get all of the wrinkles out. One more thing I want to mention that I forgot to mention earlier is that you want to make sure you read how many strands there are that you're to put on your needle. Don't just assume it's always 2. So make sure you read that part so you know how many to use. Most of your cross stitches, the little X shape, are always going to use 2 strands. Now your instructions just assume that you're going to put it back in the hoop and make the little tassel. You don't have to do that. You can easily put it in a picture frame and set it on a shelf, or what I often do most of the time is turn my cross stitch projects into little pillows. And this was one that I did for Easter. This only requires a sewing machine that has a straight stitch. You don't need a fancy sewing machine. It's really very basic little pillow, and it has polyfill stuffing in it, which is easy to get. You can get it at Walmart, Joann's, Hobby Lobby, all of those places. This one to my right is a larger Easter one, and it's made the same way as that first little one that I showed you. So you can even make larger pillows. They don't have to be little ones. And this one is a Americana theme to it. And all I did on this was add some rickrack, and there's fabric on the back, and then I inserted polyfill stuffing. And again, all you need is a straight stitch. This one that's on my right was a little pattern that was in a cross-stitch book that I had. And again, this is really a simple way to add just a little border on it and put fabric on the back. This was a kit that I bought from Walmart. It was the exact same size as the one I showed you at the beginning of this tutorial. It was just a 6-inch design, and it says Home Sweet Home, and I actually turned it into a house and made it into a pillow. Now this one's a little more advanced, takes a little more time, so it has a border on it. It also has piping on the edges. This is not cross stitch, but I wanted to show you one that had a ruffle on it. So you can actually add a ruffle to all of these, still put the border on it. And what's different about this one, I'm going to flip it over, is that I made it into a slip cover. So if I want to reuse this pillow form, I can just remove it and make another one. Now, if you're interested in making these pillows, not this one, I don't have a tutorial on this one, but I do have links that you can go to that will help you learn how to make your cross-stitch project into a small pillow. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and that it was helpful to you. If you're interested in other cross-stitch tips and other cross-stitch tutorials, there will be links below your YouTube screen. You want to scroll down below the screen to the description section. Click on the down arrow or show more. There'll also be links to where you can learn how to make a pillow and other beginners sewing projects. Now, don't forget to follow me on Instagram and check out my Facebook page. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and happy sewing. If you like the Sewing Room channel, one of the best ways to show your support is to subscribe by clicking on that red subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to click on share to share this video with your friends. And make sure you click on the bell so you receive notifications for all my new videos. I'm Cheryl, this is Manny, and this is Scotty. See you next time.